Okay, friends, I just wanted to give you an update of what we're traveling in here. So, just to, because today is the end of our pilgrimage and tomorrow we fly back home. So, we came to Thessalonica in our flight, and then that evening we visited there. Then we moved to Kavala and Filippo, that we were there. This is where St. Paul baptized the first European, and this is when St. Paul began his ministry in Europe. So that's his second missionary trip, that he's coming from Troas, and he went back there. Okay, so then we traced back our steps to Thessalonica. From Thessalonica we went to Beroa, where Paul preached, but if he didn't have much success again, because the Jews from Thessalonica came down and pushed him away. So he got into a boat and went all the way down to Athens, and he preached in Athens. Actually, today we are here in Athens, and we were on the place that Paul preached to the Athenians. But we did not take a boat. We went around and we took this road, and we stopped here in those beautiful monasteries on the mountains, which was a medieval tradition of the monasteries. We came all the way down here to Athens. Then we took 4 days tour on a cruise, and so we left Athens, and from Athens we went to Mykonos, and from Mykonos we went to Ephesus. Ephesus became one of the largest Christian hubs of this area in the time of Paul. Ephesus is rich in tradition because Paul spent almost 3 years there. But not only that, in his second missionary trip he stopped for a moment there, and then on the third missionary trip he came into Ephesus and spent time there. After Paul left, John the Evangelist came there, and so this is a very and we celebrated Mass here in what is to be the house of Mary, the Blessed Mother Mary, one of the traditions that has it. So then we went down to Patmos, and we visited the cave of the Revelation, and then we went all the way down to Rhodes, which Paul, as you can see, he stopped there on his way back to Antioch. And then we went from Rhodes to Crete, which is the biggest island in the Greece. And this island is important because of the culture, but Paul, on his fourth journey, when he's prisoner on the way to Rome, he actually boarded this island and spent some time here. Then also tradition has it that Titus was the bishop of here, one of the companions of Paul of this Crete region. And then we went back to Athens. And then from Athens we visited Corinth and came back here to Athens. And as you know, Paul spent a lot of time in Corinth, and around 18 months, and the community in Corinth is a pretty big and strong. So that's more or less our journey, our places. So we kind of traced Paul, and our visit was more into the second and third missionary journeys of Paul. Hi friends, this is the last day here in Athens. We will now have our Mass, celebrate Mass at the cathedral of Dionysus. The only person who believed, well, the king and Damaris believed in Paul when he was preaching in the Areopagus here in Athens. So we'll have Mass in that. That's the cathedral, Catholic cathedral in Athens, and then from there we will conclude our journey, and tomorrow morning, early in the morning, we fly out of Athens and we'll go back home. So it has been a wonderful pilgrimage, and I'm grateful that you all participated, watching the videos and following us in our celebration. So yeah, today we visited the Areopagus, the Acropolis, all the Athens history. We are here in Athens, and this is the Areopagus area, so where Paul just walk over here. here is the Agora. So Paul basically in this hill could look around and see all the different temples that were around, and he could just point it out to the Athenians that all these religious monuments were made for gods who were idols, but he could preach about the one true God. Preaching about the resurrection. So here we are, and we're going to celebrate the Mass at the Catholic Cathedral of Dionysus, the one who came to believe in this very spot. Especially the very moving thing is to be able to step on the Areopagus where Paul spoke to the Athenians, and we read the passage of the Acts of the Apostles there, and listening to Paul preaching to all of us there, and it was a beautiful moment. It was a beautiful conclusion to our journey, with the celebration of the Mass also being the highlight of this, and coming to an end of this wonderful 10 days of pilgrimage and journey on the steps to St. Paul. Our main pilgrimage stayed in the mostly on the cities that Paul visited in his second missionary journey, and part of his second and part of his third missionary journey, and then a bit of Crete, which was the fourth missionary journey, but actually Paul at that moment were going as a prisoner to Rome. So thank you for following us, and thank you for connecting and participating in this. You could see any of our pilgrims who go back home and ask them more about it, and I'm sure they're going to have a lot of stories to tell. God bless you, and see you back home.